Okay, so note how smooth it is on the inner circle, which is the sectional pieces of track put together. And then when I move it to the outer loop, it's a combination of sectional straights, and then the curves are actually these little segmented pieces of track. I'll give you a close-up on the segmenting on those, but it adds a kind of a rumble to it. So there, I switched the tracks. So I'll go to the outer loop now. There we go. And now note the rumble, especially when it gets on this close turn here. It doesn't derail, but it just rumbles a lot, especially that particular turn. Over here, yeah, it's still rumbling quite a bit. All right, so I'll bring you in for a close-up on what it's doing in that turn here. So pardon the jiggling camera. Not too bad. But watch, you can see these are all little segments of track, and they can bend upward and downward. It's very flexible. And I have it joined to the inner loop so that it makes it as smooth a turn as it can. If I took these colored pieces out, this track will slowly move around each time the locomotive goes over it. It kind of reshapes the track like a real locomotive would do. We'll send it back to that inner loop, and you can watch how smooth it goes through the inner loop. You don't hear the clickety-clack. It's very smooth rail. Runs nice on that continuous rail. And that's a non-powered track. All the power and everything is in that little tender, the red car. Well, it's a passenger car, but in this case it's filling in as a tender. So the Falk is not actually motorized. It is just it's being pushed by the passenger car. Here she comes again. I can bump her down to a slower speed too. Let's see if I can do that. Comes around here. Oop, that's slow. Let's try one notch. Oop, can't go. But if I give it 2 notches and then back one, it's just not enough for a turn. Let's try it one more time with a little momentum. It's tough. The controller I'm using is this thing, and it's not real accurate. Sometimes there we go. That's as slow as it can go. Let's see if it'll make a loop around the track at that speed. Nope, just not enough throttle for turns. So here, yeah, back up. So now the passenger car is actually pulling the Falk around. So I'm going to do the right hand of God and swap engines, and we'll have a crewless Bear Harbor go run around here. So I lift that off. And now let's put our crewless Bear Harbor on board. I only have 2 two Lego men that size, and it takes a while to attach them because they're posable and the cab's finished, and it's hard to get my big human fingers inside the cab to to put the engineer in there. So we're just going to run without an engineer. So here you'll see the, give you a nice kind of split view there. Be able to see the cylinders and stuff. All the running gears up high. And now let's try the Bear Harbor on this segmented track. I have never tried the Bear Harbor on this. This is a first, so we'll see if it has its wheels a little further front to back than the Falk does. And that's pretty much how it is in the real world. Oh, it made it through this point. Not enough throttle. I'm just gonna right-hand to God it. The points are just enough resistance. It's gonna need more throttle, but I think it's staying on the track. It just needs, like it didn't, yeah. Got a right-hand to God here. Yeah, it's rough. There's also rumble. It just accepts this track. So I think we'll go back to the inside loop. That's kind of, I mean, it does it, but barely. And those turns are really unrealistic for the locomotive in the real world. That would just be way too crazy sharp. So it's still doing pretty good considering the odds. Here we're back on that inside loop. There we go. Whoa, less throttle. On this track, it runs nice and smooth. All right, we're getting up to almost 8 minutes of video. Any longer and it gets hard to load. So here we go. The Bear Harbor in Lego.